Peace reflection. Welcome back to this earth realm. How's everybody doing today? Okay. I connected to the wrong Wi-Fi again. Europe, so yeah, today I just want to talk about being real, not being right. I feel like a lot of times in life we get presented with certain situations and we just trying to say the right thing. We just want to come off right to people. We don't want to. People are scared of failing. They're scared of failing. They think that failure is a bad thing, but it's not necessarily. Failure allows you to see how not to do things, or it allows you to see where you went wrong, how you can improve. But sometimes we're just trying to be right. That's a turkey right next to me. He said, "Welcome back." In any situation, you should always be honest. This is being real, and that's one of our morals. Morals over desires, morals over lower self-desires, is that you be real, which is being authentic, being transparent. Not sugarcoating shit, not hiding anything, not holding anything back, just being completely honest. Because at the end of the day, if you aren't being real, then how could you possibly know what you need to work on? How can you know, how can you uncover things you need to work on? Because if you're trying to be right all the time, you might say the right answer, but it doesn't match up with how you truly feel. So if you express how you truly feel, which is being real, then you can correct any thought forms and frequencies that aren't in alignment with that which is right. Welcome back, Reflection Citrine. I'm just this turkey is like right in front of me and he's being mad aggressive for some reason. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Another beautiful day in the jungle. Drinking some cacao, some hot chocolate. But yeah, I realize that it becomes very easy for us to just say what's right. Like we know the right answer, but it doesn't match up with how we're truly feeling, So we just say like the right thing at the time, and we never truly correct what we really feel. So it's like somebody asks you a question, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And you know what they want you to say. They know the right answer, but you don't necessarily agree or believe that in that moment. Yet you say what's right just to be right, and you don't express how you really feel because you know that it's gonna bring out more things that you need to work on. Being real is, and especially in Babylon, right? It's an artificial world. Like we live in a world where nobody's really being real because nobody knows how to be real, because most people have been programmed to be fake, to be artificial. You got people eating artificial food, watching, artificial reality, just experiencing an artificial reality to the point where being real and organic is something that comes foreign to them. So you got to realize that you got to come up out of that programming, because it's a whole another level of reality that you tap into when you start being real and authentic. You start attracting people who are real and authentic. You start experiencing a reality that's real, organic, instead of the artificial, because it's like that whole smile in your face but talk shit behind your back. That's kind of how Babylon does things, because Babylon, everybody's out in it for themselves. They're just on a mission to better themselves and to get themselves up in that system. But in the midst of that, they'll do whatever it takes. They'll be fake. They'll appear to be on the same page with you just so that they can level up and step over you, use you as a stepping stone for their success in that world. Now, we know what true success is. We know that true success is living in tune with nature, is being close to the elements, being close to nature, and being able to be in your natural environment and thriving in your natural environment. That's true success. Success isn't measured by a diploma. It's not measured by a degree. It's not measured by a bank account. is success can only be measured by how you feel, by your health, by you tapping and tuning into your fullest potential. Peace reflection, Queen Libra. Peace reflection, Poly Goddess. Success, true success, is not in that system, because that system is backwards, is anti-success to the true success. True success is in nature, is the animals that are thriving in their natural environment, getting everything they need, every need they have fulfilled. That's the real success, because that's the real world. First of all, the real world, you can only get real success in the real world. And in anything other than that, in an artificial world, you're only going to get a fake success. You're only going to get somebody's idea of success. Now, of course, in that world, they're going to tell you that success is the person who could perpetuate more of that system. They're going to tell you that success is whoever could do a better job for those leaders of that system to keep that system going, because it's beneficial for them for you to think that. Because if you think that success is making a business, starting a corporation, and selling all these products and paying taxes to that government and perpetuating that system, then that's only going to give them more of what they want. You know, they want their goal is to, you know, kill, steal, and destroy. And everything that you do that you think is successful in that world is only perpetuating and feeding into that machine. Like, you're just a cog in that machine. You're just a little piece, a little wheel that they need in order to keep that machine going. Because without humans, without people, that machine falls apart. Without human power, you got to realize this, that all the money that has ever been generated is merely a result of human energy. Like, we're the ones that make the money. We're the ones that give the money value. Without us, there is no economic system. You know, so that's prone to collapse. Without us, you know, if you cut us out of the equation, all they wouldn't have anything, because we are the ones that give it value. We are the ones that choose to say, this is worth this much and I'm willing to pay this much for it. I'm willing to exchange this much energy for this. Without our allowance of that, then we truly can make that system collapse, because it is up to us. You know, we give things value. So when we telling you that the real world is out here in nature, we're putting value into the real system. We're saying that this is what we need to come back to. This is what we're putting our energy into giving this system value. The real system, the organic, natural system that's been here before all systems. The system that, you know, it will exist after, before, during. It's always will be, because it all is all that is. Anything on top of that is simply an artificial, temporary distraction to distract you from the real world. You see what I'm saying? So here at Carbonation, under the teachings of the Honorable Master Chief Nature Boy, we are committed to broadcasting this message. This is a 24/7 job that we do. We constantly leveling up and trying to just send out the signals and the codes for you to understand this very message, that this is the real organic system. This is where you should put your value into. You should value the trees. You should value the rainforest. You should value the animals and the plants and the fruits. This is where this true system is. This is the economic system of this plane of existence, the true economic system. This is where we choose to put our value into. This is what we say, this is important. This is what I choose to look at as rich. True riches are in nature. It's in the relationships. It's in the way you feel. It's in your health. This is the true riches. It's not in a bank account. You can never buy your happiness. You will always keep perpetuating, trying to find something else until you realize that it's something that comes within you. You generate this on your own, and the best way to generate that is to put yourself in a natural environment. You put yourself in an environment that's conducive to your health, that's conducive to who you are as an organic human being upon this planet, then you could start making steps forward into finding out that you got everything that you need for yourself. That system can never truly give you anything that you aren't already by nature supposed to have, you know? So it's like we think that that system is all there is, but truly we're living examples that there's more, you know? We're proving to you day after day with our actions, showing you, look, there's something else. There's something else, and let me show you here. Let me give you the evidence and the proof and the scientific breakdown on what this is. And we tell you this, you know, the vitamin D, the sun, you need to get closer to the sun, because in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn is the highest energy density on this plane of existence, meaning that all the energy is mostly concentrated in this tropical region, and that's why you see the lushness of the green here, because there's more energy, literally more energy, more electromagnetic fields coming into this region from the sun, which is the source of all life on this planet. There's more of that coming here than anywhere else on the planet, and that's why you see the green, you see the diversity of animals. Brazil is actually the #1 most biodiverse country in the world, and this is because it's where the Amazon rainforest is at. That's meaning that there's more species, there's more plants and more animals in total in that area, because it's in the tropics, because it's in the area where most energy is received on this plane of existence. So you got to understand that. Don't you want to, if you know that everything is energy, right? We know that everything is energy, everything is vibrating, every atom, there's an electron that's vibrating around the center of the nucleus, where there's a neutron and a proton. Around that is an electron. You know that everything is vibration energy. Wouldn't you want to put yourself in the place where there's more of what you are? Meaning your energy, there's more energy in the tropics. So if you put yourself in the tropics, then that means that you're putting yourself in an environment where there's more you. There's more energy, there's more existence, there's more thriving for you as a human species. This is what you got to realize. Out here, the things grow in abundance. It's just easy. You throw a seed on the ground, you don't got to bury it. It'll sprout. And all the plants and fruits that you're probably already eating are coming from the tropics. So you don't bring your natural food to an unnatural environment. You simply just return to your natural environment and eat the fruit that's already there. And it's simple as that, It's a very simple equation. It's not something that's complicated, but we complicate it because we're trying to hold on to the past. We're trying to hold on to what's comfortable. And what's comfortable isn't always best for us, because what's comfortable, especially coming from Babylon, is typically something that is detrimental to us. It's detrimental to our health and our being. You're not truly expressing who and what you truly are until you're in your natural environment. That's why you can't take a certain animals out of the natural environment and put them in a zoo, because they'll stop being that animal, or they'll die. Either they'll die or they won't express the full potential and characteristics of what they truly are, And this is what the lower self does. It tries to put us on exhibition and use us and other energies in this existence for their gain. But you'll never truly tap into and unlock the full potential of your being if you're in that environment. Truly, study brainwaves, study the alpha, theta, beta brainwaves, and you'll understand that gamma is the highest brainwave frequency that you can tap into. This is the frequency of carbonation. We're tapped into the highest frequency of brainwave, meaning our brain is oscillating at a higher velocity than most people. So it allows us and gives us the ability to unlock special parts about ourselves. If you could look this up, this is scientifically proven. I'm just trying to give you a quick rundown on it, but gamma brainwaves is basically a level of consciousness, is what that represents, frequency, right? And we tap into that frequency that allows you to be able to concentrate more, to pick up information more, to receive more information from your environment, and to pick up the clues and put things together. And putting these things together will give you greater insight. Peace, reflection, zinger. So you got to realize this, that you've been born into an artificial zoo, that you are like an animal in a zoo, and we are like the animals that became aware that there were animals in a zoo and got about that zoo, and now are reaching back to the other, animals in the zoo, just to let them know that they're in a zoo, and to let them know that that's not their natural environment, that's not where they belong. And although that they've been born into that system, and although everybody around them appears to be integrated, and that appears to be the right way, and everything on the news and the media is telling you that we're progressing, I'm just telling you to look deeper than the surface, because the surface ain't always what it really is and what it really seems to be. That there's always a layer of truth hidden behind the lies and the forefront that they put up. That if you do a little bit of research, you find out the true reality upon this plane of existence. You find out that you're not eating how you were told to eat. First of all, is not the right way. Them telling you that you need protein from animals is not accurate. Them telling you that, you could live in that environment and exist in that environment and thrive is not accurate. Them telling you that, all these things they tell you, that they basically sell you these lies to try to sell you something. It's always trying to keep that system going. That's the whole goal of that system, is to keep the system going. But that system already crashed. That system's already long been gone. It's done. You know, we're just waiting on it to finally, the dust to settle, but it's already crashed. You know, the economic system has already crashed. Look how much millions or trillions of dollars they're already in debt to other countries. Like, the whole planet is in debt. In debt to who? Who do we owe this money to? Ourselves? You know, think about that. If the whole planet is in debt, who do we owe this money to? Ourselves? None of this can truly be owned. Nothing can truly be owned. It could only be borrowed for a moment in time. Even the food that you eat, you think you're owning the food that you eat, but before you know it, you got to give it back to the earth. It's a perpetual cycle that keeps on going. You know, this is the way of nature. It's running cyclical. It's always, one thing is always feeding the next, and nothing is just stagnant. Everything is interdependent, meaning that one thing depends on another, and that thing depends on another thing. So everything is interdependent and interwoven, and everything is in tune with each other, you know. But in that system, it allows us to disconnect. Why? Because we had a sewer system. You don't got to know where your pot is going. You don't got to know where your cup is going when you empty it into the toilet. You just empty it there. You lock yourself in a room. You sit down on this porcelain thing that has a hole in it that's connected to a plumbing system that runs into a factory, you know, but you don't really think about it. It's kind of weird when you do think about it and you realize that everything else in nature is just emptying its pot and cup out in the open, you know, into the grass, into the field, because there's microorganisms, there's bugs that are gonna eat that up and clean that up, and it's nothing is really waste, you know. That's what you gotta realize. In nature, there's no waste. In nature, there's no trash. We have trash because we don't know how to live upon this planet. We have trash because we create things that don't break down, that aren't biodegradable, that aren't compatible with this plane of existence, you know. That's the reason we have trash. But truly in nature, there would be no trash. How can you have trash out of things that are organic? How can you have trash out of, if you're using things that come from nature? You know, this is the true reality of things, that there is no trash. And even the things that we create that we think cannot be broken down, look how nature finds a way to break it down. Nature always finds a way because it's constantly trying to balance itself out. It's like your body. Your body is always looking for homeostasis. It's always looking to be healthy. You know, so you are the earth, you know, so the earth in the same way is always trying to balance itself out. So when we create plastics that don't break down for hundreds and thousands of years, the earth brings something in to break that down. So now we got, I think it's called wax worms that break down this plastic and actually are able to break it down, you know, and there's other bugs that are, and bacteria and microorganisms that are breaking down these things that we created that weren't natural, but nature finds a way. Basically, nature always finds a way to break these materials down. So you got to realize that nature is an ongoing force. You know, as much as we try to suppress it, it's always going to come up and thrive and be around after us because it's relentless, you know, and that's how you got to be in spirit, you know. And that's why when we're in Babylon, we might not have that spirit because we're too tuned into the spirit of Babylon, which is a spirit that's just, that isn't in tune with what it really is. But truly nature will prevail over all, you know. Nature is the source of things, so it'll be here after even the resistance of Babylon, you know. So just realize that that's the world that you came into, you know. You were born into it, but just because you were born into it and your whole family and everybody around you appears to be very invested, and they're telling you that you need to go to college and that you need to get a degree and that you need to integrate into that system, realize what you're integrating yourself into. Realize that that system is not designed to last forever, because that system is destroying the source of what fuels it. How can you keep it going forever if it's destroying the source of what fuels it? It's like you have a business and you got money coming in from that business, but you're spending more than you're able to put back into your business. That business is not going to last very long because you're spending more of what you need to keep that business going. You know, and that's the same thing with Babylon. It's taking more than it's giving back. You know, and anything like that in nature is unbalanced and will not last forever. That's why even you as a person, as a fractal piece of this earth, you got to realize that if you were taking too much and not giving back enough, that you are out of balance as well. You know, you gotta, any situation that you put into, you gotta be able to give back just as much as you take. Anything else is unbalanced. Anything else is not ma'at. It's not in tune, you know. So you gotta realize this, you know. You gotta realize that. But back to what I was saying, you know, like, just be real, you know, be authentic, because you'll never truly know how someone feels or what your reality is trying to point you and direct you to until you're being real, because you're always going to be just saying the right thing, trying to fit in, like, oh yeah, this is it, this is the answer. Like, I'm not looking for you to give me the right answer. I'm looking for you to tell me how you truly feel, because in telling me how you truly feel, then I can unravel and break down either if that's right or if there's something there that needs to be corrected. If you tell me how you truly feel, then we can go into the patterns of your mind and see why you're thinking those thoughts, if it's not aligned with true divine, you know, truth. So don't try to be right. Just be real, you know, in your world. Be real, because, and then you got to align yourself with what's real and what's right, so that when you are being real, it aligns with what's right. But then that way you can always be real, you know, because you align yourself with what's right now. So every time that whatever you say, whatever comes out of you is not just real, but it's also right. You feel me? So, but in the process of that, we have to express ourselves truly and be real, because then we'll never know what's lurking inside. We'll never know what's hiding underneath the surface, underneath the trying to be real. There's some feelings there. There's something there that you don't want to say, because you're scared to be wrong. You're scared to not say the right thing, but it must be said and it must be spoken and it must be brought out. That way it can be corrected and healed. That which is concealed cannot be healed. Master Chief Nature Boy said that, you know, but that's real, you know. If you're concealing something, it'll never truly be healed. It's not until you bring it out and you express it that you're able to correct it, because otherwise it'll just be hiding it deep inside, tucking it away, hoping that it goes away. It never goes away. It never goes away. How you feel never goes away until you address it. And the way you address it is that you express it. And once you express it, your outward reality is gonna say, there's gonna be people there like, yo, that's not right. You know, I respect that you express that because it's real, but it's not right. Let me show you why. Because the fact is that this doesn't align with this, based off this mathematics and this truth. It's not cipher, you know, so it's not going with what is, you know. But prior to that, you would have never known that if you wouldn't express it. You know, you got to just be real with your reality. Be real. Be as real as you possibly can, because then you'll attract people who are real as well. If you be fake and you just say the right thing, you're just going to attract people who do that as well. You don't want people around you who are just saying the right thing just to say it, knowing damn well they don't truly believe in it, knowing damn well that that's not truly how they feel inside. They're just saying it just because that's what you want to hear. You don't want that in your reality reflection. You want people who are being real, you know, and that comes with understanding, that comes with trying to do the right thing, is being real. In the process of being righteous, you must be real, because there's nothing righteous about just saying the right thing. What's righteous is expressing how you truly feel, so that you can correct that behavior, so that you could correct those thoughts and nip it in the bud, you know, and move on and grow from that experience. You know, don't try to just be right, you know, and I guess, you know, this reflects back even in school. You know, you remember in school, it used to be like people were scared to raise their hand and say the wrong thing, you know, because they didn't want to look like a fool in front of everybody. People were embarrassed, you know, they didn't want to say the right thing. I know even I felt that way at times. I thought I knew the answer, and instead of just being real and expressing the answer, I was like, nah, I'm just not going to say anything because I don't want to be wrong. And I understand that that's a human characteristic that we tend to adopt. But what I'm saying is that doesn't always serve you, because shit, you might be real, you might be right, you know, you might be right. And even if you're not right, you expressing that, you could speak for other people who might think like you think and also need to be corrected. So in the midst of you correcting your thoughts by being real, you also correct other people who don't have the courage to speak out for themselves, and then you gain clarity and understanding in that moment, not just for yourself but for others around you who might felt the same way but weren't as courageous enough to express it and be real, you know, because they were trying to be right. They were just trying to say the right thing. But you'll become kind of like a martyr. You know, it's not really a martyrdom because shit, you're not dying, you're just becoming more, you're becoming greater, you know, just transitioning, nothing is lost, all is transformed. But don't be scared, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, be the one who raises their hand. Didn't you always appreciate that person who chose to raise their hand and say something that everybody was feeling? That person who raised their hand and was like, what about this? I don't get this, you know. And while everybody else is too scared, but they're feeling the same way, they're just too scared to raise their hand and be wrong in that moment. Don't be that person. Don't be the person who's scared to be wrong. Be the person who raises their hand and speaks out and is be real and open, you know, like, nah, I don't get this, you know, I would like to understand it further, you know what I mean? Because then you become a leader in this way, you know. This is the true mark of leadership, is that you're able to be honest and open and not scared to be wrong on your own, stand on your own, you know. You got to be able to be wrong by yourself, you know, and because it's not about how people perceive you more than it is about your self-growth. It's about you growing. So if you truly want to grow, you're going to be like, all right, I understand that this might be wrong, but look, I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to be real with my reality. And this is how I feel right now. So let me receive the repercussions and be corrected from this if I'm wrong, but let me not hold this in. Because if I hold it in, and I'm just being fake with myself, and if I'm being fake with myself, then I'm being fake with you, because you are me. And if I speak fakeness out into my reality, I'm just going to attract more fakeness. And I already left Babylon to escape that fake artificial world. Why would I bring that into nature? Why would I bring that into my next reality? Why would I perpetuate that, you know? Why would I keep that going? Like, nah, you got to be real and authentic. And stop caring about what people think, because people need to hear you being real. People need to hear it, because this is your reality. This is your universe reflection. If you're not being real, then it's only affecting you. You know, you got to look at it that way. Like, if you're trying to become your best self and level up and be greater, you can't be concerned with how other people are moving or the speed of growth that they're moving. You can only be concerned with you and yourself and what you're trying to do. This is your mission. You came here to fulfill your purpose. You can't be thinking about, damn, like, how's this person going to feel if I express this, though? Nah, you can't, because... And plus, you don't want to be around people who are reluctant to hear what's real because of how it'll make them feel. You want to be around people who want to hear what's real regardless of how they feel, so that they can correct how they're feeling about what's being said. Because it has nothing to do with you. How they feel has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with themselves and how they feel about themselves and at the level of consciousness that they're at. If you can affect somebody with your words, it is only because they allowed to be affected by your words. They give you permission to affect them because of the level of consciousness they're on. You know, I understand that you're my reflection. So if you say something that bothers me, I understand that I said something through you that bothered me. You know, it is only because something was up with me that I can even be offended by anything else as everybody's saying. Obviously, it struck a chord. Obviously, there's something real there. Obviously, there's some truth to what you said, or else I wouldn't have felt a certain way, you know? So this is the part where you gotta put that to the side. Like, fuck how people are feeling. This is not only best for me, but it's best for everybody in my reality that I express what's real, because concealing it ain't gonna help. Concealing is only going to make it worse. It's only going to make that, bury it further underneath, make it bigger, and then once it bubbles up and comes to the surface again, it'll just blow up in everybody's faces and it'll become a mess, you know? But if I express this in the moment, like, this is how I'm feeling, we can have a mature conversation about this. We can rationalize and come to a conclusion and a consensus on what needs to be done, you feel me? This is how you level up. This is true maturity, you know? Spiritual maturity, where you're like, shit, like, you're trying to rationalize and make, you know, conscious decisions on your reality rather than just speaking nonsense, you know? So always be real, you know, be real to your reality, and your reality will be real right back to you. Don't try to be right. Don't try to be right. Just be real, and then find what's right. Study what's right. Study objective facts. Align yourself with objective facts. Align yourself with the objective truth. Gain this understanding, and then once you become this understanding, once you become the truth, then everything that comes out of you will be real. Once you become the truth, everything that comes out of you will be real, and you won't have to worry about trying to be right, because you are the truth. Then you can express yourself freely, because the truth is being real, when that aligns, that's what you want. Because until you fill your cup up with the truth, then when you're trying to be real, obviously you're going to see that you still got shit to work on. You still got shit that you need to work on. So just fill yourself up with the divine knowledge, Follow Carbonation TV and the teachings of the Honorable Master Chief Nature Boy, so that you can understand this information, because this information is facts. We break it down to you scientifically. We're breaking down quantum physics and the microcosm and the macrocosm of this reality, and showing you that everything is fractal, that everything is energy, that everything is vibration and frequency. We're just showing you the mathematics of this realm of existence, That's all we're doing. We're just giving you divine facts. We're not trying to be swayed by subjectivity or how we feel. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're not trying to make you buy a product or sell you a service. The only thing we're trying to make you do is connect back to yourself, connect back to nature, connect back to the almighty oneness, and be in tune with it and live in tune with it, so that we can live harmoniously upon this plane of existence. We're just trying to build and become greater and greater, elevate to a higher level of consciousness. We're just trying to become the best versions of ourselves. We're on a mission, an ongoing, everlasting mission to be the best possible version of ourselves, so we can reconnect back with Source, And it's an ongoing mission, but we on it, we on it, and we diligent with it, and we every day waking up trying to become our greatest self. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Are you trying to do that, or are you just out there criticizing people, trying to be right within that system? Don't be right, be real. Align your real with what's right, so that when you speak, everything is always real and right. You feel me? So that's all I want to share with you today, because it's real important that you practice this into your life today. One time, at least, if you have this situation, the opportunity today, do this. In a moment where you're being asked something and you feel like you want to say something, but you feel yourself trying to hold it back so you can say what's right, don't. Say what's real instead of saying what's right. Try this today and see how it'll change things for you, how it'll bring things to the surface that need to be checked and looked at, how it'll start aligning the people in your reality with what is aligned with you, because now you can speak it out into your electromagnetic field. This is what I am, this is what I represent, this is how I think, and you could start beginning to align yourself with all those who think like you as well. Reflection. So that's my tip of advice for you today. If you have the opportunity, just practice this today and see how it goes for you, and let me know how it goes. Message me, just be real, don't try to be right all the time. That's all I want to share with you guys today. Shouts out, all honor goes to the Honorable Master Chief Nature Boy for the light. He gave me this so I could reflect it back to you, and so I could be real with you, and I'm right too, because we're real and right has aligned. You feel me? So that's what it is, I'll see y'all next time. Hit me up in the inbox if you got any questions. All right, I love myself.